Bubba. Hi, Shy. Say hi to everybody from the AV room. Shy says hi to the AV room viewers. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the audio video room on a Sunday. I've had a crazy past couple of days. I got out of the tattoo industry, thought I was going to retire, and got a job in the food industry as a manager. And it was a viral macaroni and cheese chain called Roni's. And after 3 or 4 days, I decided it was going to be too much for this 55-year-old guy, even managing. That place was crazy. They just had their opening yesterday and we're on the news. They had lines around the corner all day, all night. I got out in the nick of time. And why I got out was I got called and asked to join another tattoo parlor. So you can find me at Holy Grail Tattoo in Midland, Texas, home of the Landman. You watch that TV show? It's a great show. Anyways, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because right before Christmas time, I was perusing my Instagram feed and I caught something with my eye. My local resale shop that I used to pass every day at the last tattoo shop I worked at in Odessa, about an hour away, put up an ad that they were going to be closed for the next following days from Christmas to New Year's Eve. They would reopen on January 2nd. Well, in that ad, I saw something. I'm going to look and see if I can find the picture and I'll attach it here so you can see what I'm talking about and see if you noticed what I noticed. So I quickly got a hold of him. I reached out and I said, "You've got to hold that for me. You've got to hold that for me. I haven't seen that since I was 10 years old. Used to have it." Nostalgia explosion. So what did I get? I got this. Christmas in the Stars. If you know anything about this album, back when Star Wars came out, there wasn't a lot of Star Wars. Nobody knew it was going to be as big as it was. So we basically had the soundtrack, which topped the charts. #1 best-selling classical album of all time. Then they had the story of Star Wars. So you could, as a kid, listen, read along in a picture book, and listen to clips from the film. And then that was it. So following that, I remember going to the record store as a 10-year-old. It was on my way to school. I would walk in there every day after school. I saw this on the wall. So this was before The Empire Strikes Back came out. And immediately I noticed the Ralph McQuarrie art because I was a member of the Star Wars Bantha tracks. They always used to have Ralph McQuarrie art or send you a patch. And he painted this artwork. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that some beautiful artwork? You can see C-3PO there by the fireplace and R2-D2 over here, Santa Claus and toys. It says at the bottom, featuring the original cast, R2-D2, it's original, and Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. And then McQuarrie signed it right over here in the corner. I'll see if I can maybe get a screen grab so you can look at it, still frame it. But if you know anything about this album was produced and sort of created by Miko Minardi. And Miko had a big hit of his own when Star Wars had burst out in 1977. He had done a disco album of Star Wars, and I had that as well. In fact, I still have it. My copy's down there. I have a few Miko albums, including an American Werewolf in London that he did. That has never gotten an official soundtrack. The only soundtrack for American Werewolf in London officially released is the Miko album, and Miko did this album. Maybe I'll do that in another episode. But Miko did this album, and you can see from the back, there's got a few tracks on it. Album concept by Miko Minardo, produced by Miko Minardo, Tony Bongiovi. We'll get back to that. And then arranged by side 1, Christmas in the Stars, Bells, 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 The Odds Against Christmas. What can you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb? I still sing that to this day. That single, What Do You Get a Wookiee for Christmas, was also released as a single, and it's easily found on eBay. This album, not so much. You can find this album, but it's generally upwards of $100, $150. It's also got R2-D2, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Sleigh Ride, Merry Merry Christmas, A Christmas Sighting, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and The Morning of Christmas. And then it's got your credits. And one of the interesting credits, the ones that stand out for fans of this album, is in the vocals. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. Lead vocals by Anthony Daniels as C3PO, Maury Yeston, Rod McBrien, and John Bon Jovi. I'll put a close up of it. So John Bon Jovi. No wonder he changed his name to John Bon Jovi. His uncle ran the recording studio where this was produced. John used to spend all his time in that studio, sweeping and cleaning up and helping out wherever he can, and eventually recording in the studio with his band. So Bon Jovi does lead vocals on some of the tracks of this album. I believe it's What Would You Get a Wookiee for Christmas or R2D2 We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Let's see if I can find out which and get back to you. I'm cleaning this in the ultrasonic cleaner right now. True, it's a couple days after Christmas, but I did want to get it. I didn't want to let this slip by. And I'm no longer going to be going down that way anymore. So it's an hour out of my way and an hour back. But I had to take my one day off a week and shoot over and get this album. I got it for a steal. So you can see here the credits, and you can see that it says that it was engineered, or I should say mixed by Tony Bon Jovi at Power Station. How about that, Power Station? The sound effects were by Ben Burt, who actually did the sound effects for all the Star Wars films, but up to this point, Star Wars and then Empire. And that this was mastered at Sterling Sound by Greg Calby and recorded on a Sony 1600 PCM digital recorder. How cool. What a piece of history. So, yeah, the Christmas in the Stars. And I'll show you the pictures of me cleaning it, and then I'm going to put it on the turntable and play it. But what's interesting was this is a resale shop I've talked about a couple times. I'll put some pictures here of the resale shop. They were redecorating when I came in today. Was hoping to do some trades and maybe pick up a few other titles, which I didn't get to do because they said the bosses weren't there and they're the ones that look over things. And even though I told them I've done it plenty of times and they can trust me, they weren't going for it. But wait till you see what I was going to trade them. So I picked up this, and they had a shopping cart full of stuff that said free because they were cleaning after the holidays. And I also picked up this. Now I have a couple copies. I think I have two other copies of this. This is Fiddler on the Roof. They had it marked at $6.99. It's still in the shrink. The record was mint. It had never been played. And this is a Zero Mostel version. There's a couple different versions of Fiddler on the Roof, but I did want this version. I have other copies of this exact same record, but they're more loved. They've been played a lot. And my mom used to take me to theater all the time as a kid, and I love Fiddler on the Roof. And so for free in the shrink, mint, yes, I took it. I said to my brother when I told him I got the Christmas in the Stars, I said, I got another copy of Fiddler on the Roof, so I might be sending you one. So I got that. Look at this. Look what else I got. I got two cassette tapes. I just talked about these in my other video. Let's bring cassette tapes back. Let's bring reel to reels back. Mass produced, good quality cassette tapes. Sometimes I don't think people even know what they're throwing out. So I got a TDK CD It 90 minute, and I got a less quality, a D90 from TDK. And they've been recorded on, and somebody actually has made a mixtape on this one. You can see there, it's got Mexican tracks on it. Can you see that? I'll put another close up. Maybe somebody can read that to me. But I'm going to put some rock and roll on this one. Maybe I'll make that mixtape for my wife I keep threatening to do. And then this one is the nicer of the two. This is a Sony CD It, which is a good tape. And you can tell by handling it the quality tapes versus the less quality tapes. So pretty cool. I got two blank, well, soon to be blank, cassettes. I also got some crazy things. So if you notice behind me there, I have an AdCom amp. Now I downloaded the manual to that AdCom amp, the 100-watt amp, because I found it at a garage sale. And they were throwing this out. This is an AdCom Power Amplifiers magazine. So a performance, like a promo of all the AdCom amps. So I was like, they were originally asking $10 for this brochure, and then I said, well, I've got that AdCom amp at home. I'm gonna take this too. Oh, it's sealed. It's sealed. It's never been opened. Wow. Okay, I may have to open it. So let's see what we got here. Hold on. I'm gonna open this. So give me a second. Okay, I opened it. We'll do this live. This has never been opened before. This is an AdCom. I saw the word AdCom and I saw the amp that looked like my amp back there that I listened to, and I knew I had to take it. I couldn't let this go to the trash. Come on, guys. Oh, what do we got here? So this is, oh, it's got my, I believe that's my model. I'm pretty sure that's my model. It is the GFA 545. So how about that? I found the brochure for free in a shopping cart for the amp that I have right back there. How about that, guys? How about that? Sealed in plastic. This is, I think they call this paper when you collect stuff like this. They call it collecting paper, and I definitely have too much paper. My wife is not happy about all the paper I have. So we've got specs or manual. So this must have been the manual for the 535 because that's the owner's manual for the 535, and that little brochure came with it. And then there's also, what do we got here? This is all for that AdCom. All good things come to those who wait. Finally, a CD player that represents all the music, not just bits and bytes of it. Wow, AdCom had a CD player as well. You see that there? All good things come to those who wait. And then there's the CD player. Wow, I would love to find that. I am going to have to look into that. And then here's an Adcom GFT 555 FM AM tuner and speaker selectors. See, I didn't know they had all this stuff. I was poor back then when all that 80s, 90s stuff happened. So I collect vintage gear now. That's what you see behind me is vintage gear. And look at all the stuff Adcom had. The AC enhancer. Look at that. Before and after cleaning up your signals. Wow. Oh, I'm such a nerd. You guys, I'm such a nerd. Oh, look, a preamplifier, a review from Stereo Review. And this goes back to the magazines. I wish magazines came back where I could read this sort of stuff. And it came to me for free in a shopping cart. Wow, Stereophile, look at these. How, okay, am I a nerd or what? Leave a comment. Am I nerding out on a Sunday in my man cave? Yes, yes, I am. Did I buy a record from 1980? Yes, yes, I did. Is it Star Wars? Yes, yes, it is. You can't see, but on the opposite side, maybe in my older videos, you can see I have a Star Wars poster. I have a lightsaber. I have Godzilla toys. I was a nerd. I am still a nerd. It's just maybe nerddom came around. I don't know. So I also got some cool things in that they gave away. I got this. This is a belt buckle. I have a few belt buckles because I have belts that I swap the belt buckles on. And this is a welding belt buckle that says Odessa, Texas. Can you see that there? Maybe I'll put some close-ups on these depending on how well I shoot these. And then there were some patches, 88, 89 league champions patch and 86, 87. I like to put patches on my denim jackets, so these will definitely be going. 80s patches, bowling patches from the 80s, West Texas, and I was from Michigan. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm nerding out, you guys. Also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles booklet. I figured since I'm a tattoo artist, I could use the drawings in here and make flash for it. Now, this is crazy. I also got Nine Inch Nails Halo 14. Do you guys know what this is? Halo 14. They were CDs that they were throwing out because they didn't have jewel cases or CD cases. So Halo 14, I'm assuming that's their soundtrack that they did to Halo or Trent and Atticus Ross. They're pretty much Nine Inch Nails these days, aren't they? And then there was a booklet in that one. You know the Nine Inch Nails booklets. They're words. Yeah, yeah, it's the soundtrack to Halo. How about that? At least I have the booklet. I got that for free. Not bad. I got a Beastie Boys. I left it in the car. It's the Five Boroughs. I was I was thumping, going to pick up my wife. We got a TV set today, and I was thumping to the Beastie Boys Five Boroughs. I'll take a picture and show you the picture of my radio because I'm going to leave that in the car while I go to work for the next couple days. There's also this Bad Religion Recipe for Hate CD in there. This one looks like it also has the booklet. The Beastie Boys that I got, the Five Boroughs, did not have anything but the CD. But I mean, I saw the Beastie Boys on that License to Ill tour. I saw them on Tougher Than Leather. I've got a program from the Beastie Boys, Tougher Than Leather. Maybe I should dig that out and show you too. Bad Religion. Look at that. Bad Religion, free CD. I thought CDs were back. They're throwing this stuff away. And then I got this one, which is, again, it doesn't have a booklet, doesn't have a case, but it is Punkorama Volume 2. And it's got a lot of bands. It's got Descendants, Pennywise, let's see, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, The Humpers, it's got Rancid, it's got Voodoo Glow School, TSOL, No FX, Down by Law, Bad Religion, and the New Bomb Turks, and some others for free. Okay. Okay, I'm your man. Sure. Okay. Give me the free. I'm all about the free on a Sunday. And so look, this is what I was going to trade, but they didn't want them. They didn't want these guys. I was going to trade Northeast Corridor Steely Dan Live, unopened, still in the shrink, because I was at Target last year and they had a clearance stack of records, and I got a few things for $5. Now I had already had this record because I mail ordered it as soon as they announced it from the Steely Dan website, and then this was clearance for $5. It's a double LP. It's one of the best recorded live albums you guys will ever hear. It is such a good live album. Now, there's no Walter on these. It's his current band, but this, I mean, look up the reviews. This is fantastic. So I had a brand new in the shrink. I was going to give it to them for 15 bucks. They didn't want it. Now, here's the one that they didn't want. This really blew my mind. So if you know, I got this record and it was trashed by FedEx. They trashed it. And so Rhino sent me 2 copies to make up for it. And I kept one sealed in the shrink, and I was going to use it for trade, and I was going to use it for this trade. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this. The Fleetwood Mac, numbered, still in the shrink, with the 45s in the shrink. They didn't want Fleetwood Mac limited edition Rhino High Fidelity. They said no. And you know why they said no to this? And you know why they said no to this? Because they had 15-year-old girls working the counter that truly don't know anything about vinyl. Now, they're an antique mall. I don't expect them to know everything, maybe something, but I literally took time out to tell them these are valuable. This isn't valuable. This, you can find this for $15 to $20. This is valuable. This is going to go up in value as the years tick on by. And I'm just going to leave it in the shrink. I'm going to keep it. But that's what I mean when, if you think everybody embraces vinyl like we do, they don't. And not everybody knows about vinyl or what that AdCom brochure is or what it means to some people. And I can only thank them for giving that stuff out for free, because I took a lot of it. Downstairs, I have some ghost figurines from Halloween that they didn't want. Took all of those for my wife. She loves them. There was some garden, like Buddha metal ornaments I gave her that they were throwing out. She's going to put them in her garden. I mean, I had a Ringling Brothers and Barn. Oh, I'll go get it. Hold on. I got to show you this. Hold on. Give me a sec. But hey, it's Sunday. This is what I'm talking about. This is Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. You see Gunther Jabal Williams farewell tour. So this is, look at this. And this is a relief. You see how it's popping out there, like 3D textured. And this was when he retired. I guess there he is with his cheetah. But I collect Ringling Brothers stuff because it doesn't exist anymore. And it was part of my childhood. I went every time they came to Detroit. My grandmother would take me. And so, yeah, they were just throwing this away. Just a piece of the past. It may mean something to someone. They thought it was just trash and maybe someone would want it. And I did. So I guess I thank them for throwing this away. I love it. Now, I also got this Mel Tillis Stuttering Boy. Stuttering. See there? Stuttering. So if you know anything about country music, Mel Tillis is a legend. And this is his autobiography. And they were throwing it out. I have never read it. I need to know what happened in this man's life with 8 pages of photographs, even. Let's see if we can find those. There it is, 8 pages of photographs. They all used to have photographs back then, back in the day. Can you see that? Just look, there's young Mel Tillis. How cool is that? And he made movies. He was in Cannonball Run, among other things. Look at that, Entertainer of the Year Award, 1976. There he is on Hee Haw. That's what I knew him from, was Hee Haw. Legend. There he is with Johnny Carson. Legend. Throwing it away. I'm going to read this. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Not. I mean, so sometimes people's trash is our treasure, and things that people don't value, other people value greatly. And I definitely value this stuff that I got for free today. I definitely value the free Zero Mostel Fiddler on the Roof, and I paid for this, but it was not what it's going for on the internet in Star Wars collectors groups or eBay, where it's going for stupid money. I got it for almost nothing. And my childhood came back. So I'm going to go listen to this right now. I'm about 100 viewers away, subscribers from hitting my 1,000 goal. And then it's just viewer hours on my videos. So keep watching my videos. I appreciate every one of you. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. There's going to be more videos coming. This was just my Sunday off, and I had to go get this record, and I stumbled into this other stuff. Did I show you the patches? I got vintage patches from the 80s as well, 1988, 1986, bowling patches. I'm this guy. This is who I am, and maybe you're this guy too. So thank you for visiting the AV room on this day, and come back and see me soon, where we'll be talking about some more stuff. Thank you for visiting. We'll see you soon.